Tamil Nadu has seen film stars enter politics before, but now the question is whether Dhanush could be the next big name to make the transition. At a recent fan event, Dhanush urged his supporters to move beyond film celebrations and channel their unity into welfare work, telling them to understand the needs of people in their own areas. In most places, that might sound like a celebrity asking fans to do more charity. In Tamil Nadu, however, every such speech is examined for political signals. The speculation grew after Dhanush's fan organization unveiled an official red and white flag, while his father, filmmaker Kasthuri Raja, did not rule out the possibility of a political entry. Naturally, the internet did what it does best. It welcomed Dhanush to politics before Dhanush himself confirmed that he was going there and started comparing him to Vijay. But the comparison with Vijay also reveals the challenge. Vijay spent years transforming his fan organization into a grassroots network before launching the Tamilaga Vetri Karagam or TVK. Dhanush has popularity and active fan clubs, but popularity is not organization. But whatever the similarities, whatever the differences, we'll have to wait and watch whether this really goes that way. I'm being joined by Shekhar Vijayan at this point, a political analyst. Thank you very much. Good evening. What do you make out of this, Shekhar Vijayan? Is he preparing his way for politics? Is this politics or is this cinema?
Well, I feel he's testing waters here. We have seen what's happened with Vijay as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. And I think Dhanush has got a very vibrant fan base, and he's testing the waters in terms of how his fan base will react to him. And they have a fan base which is very strong, which is very evident, which does a lot of welfare work also. And he's testing the waters here. It may not be a signal that he's joining active politics, but I think for somebody who's very keen and his decisions look very measured off late, if you look at the movies he has done, they always have a social message. So somewhere I think he's preparing himself for it. And I think sooner or later this will happen. But I think right now they're just testing waters. He's just testing the ecosystem. They have a fan base. And what we have seen in the southern part of India, always, you have actors who have a huge fan base and whose movies are more welfare driven. They tend to dive into politics some point of time in their life. So this will happen. This may or may not happen. I think it's up to him. But I think it's very interesting. It opens up a new opportunity, I feel.
And there was a time when everybody dissed Vijay for the same reasons, where Vijay has a great fan base, but he is very new to politics. Here he is the chief minister. They may not do the same with Dhanush, but help people who don't follow that kind of cinema very closely. How big is Dhanush as a name?
See, I think the way Vijay has done so far in the last few months, I think your channel has been closely covering it also. I think it's opened the floodgates for people to think that, why cannot an actor be a politician if your heart is in the right place? And I think Vijay has got the team which is set up for making things happen. In the case of Dhanush, he's got everything working for him. He's Rajnikant's son-in-law, who's such a popular name down south and all across India. Second thing is he's a popular actor, and his movies are all welfare driven. If you look at his filmography, it's a lot like Vijay, in terms of everything has got a certain theme around it. It's around welfare politics. It's around the larger issues which the society is dealing with. And, if this is something which he wants to test, I think good for him, because we need more such people to join active politics. We need more such people to show that it is possible. It is also very inspirational, I feel, that somebody is using their ability in terms of not just in terms of not just fan base, but what can they do with it. But, everybody's going to look at this with a lot of skepticism also, because he's an actor and he's got a fan base. How does he convert that fan base into a voting populace is going to be more important. How does it become a larger, operation is going to be more critical here.
Shekhar Vijayan, there's something very interesting. For people in Tamil Nadu, politics and cinema goes quite hand in hand. Everybody knows that. It's a legacy of all sorts. Vijay broke the contours of it after a very long time in a very different way. But let's just bring the North and the South together. With what Vijay did in Tamil Nadu, with what Cockroach Janata Party did in the national capital, there suddenly seems to be a sense that politics may get a new breed. Do you get what I'm asking?
I lost the last part.
That politics may get a new breed. Politics may get a new DNA. Because for a very long time, people used to say politicians are not educated, politicians don't know this, Who are they to take those decisions? It's the babus who do it all. Why can't there be some politicians who are educated? The truth was, educated people never look to politics to be active politicians. That seems to now change in perspective and prism with CJP and Vijay, north to south. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Sneha, we are living in interesting times. I think what's happened with CJP and what's happened with Vijay, like I said, it's opened the floodgates. More than anything else, it has also showed the big distinction between North and South. Now it's not just about the central government, it's about the state government, it's about different, it's not just about actor, Vijay, or even about, it's not just about Karnataka or even Kerala. I think it's the fact that in the South, you have certain ministers who've come up on their own, on purely on their own ability. And with actors like Vijay showing that it's not just a fluke, you don't just win just because of your fan base. Also about walking the talk. I think what Vijay has done has shown a lot of people in the south of India that it is possible. It's also shown the central government that you need to collaborate more with the southern ministers. It's also important not to be combative. I think it's a mix, and I think it's a partnership of sorts for both the north and the south. They have to understand that you cannot take the southern ministers lightly now. Like you said, they're educated, they know what they need to talk in front of the camera, their optics are looking good, they know how to use their fan base well, they seem more positive. And I think from what we have seen so far, these are interesting times. And I think it's a good thing, because you have more such inspirational people joining politics. It will open a different dimension altogether. Till now, when you talk about politics, it's something which nobody wants to get into because of the corruption, because of so many things in it. Now there is more transparency, there is action which is taking place, there are things which are happening. The manifesto also talks about it. There is a clear line, there is a clear discipline, and these actors are not just doing it because they want to do it, but they're also walking the talk. We have seen that with Vijay. Let's see how Dhanush really does it, because it's going to be interesting, because it also opens different combinations in Chennai. Like with Vijay winning the way he did, he actually broke the hegemony of
Shekhar,
AIDMK and TMC.
Shekhar, also at the heart of this Gen Z. Gen Z, a term that was used with much disdain for a very long time, now are literally the heroes of this country. Whether you like what happened in Delhi or not, they have done something which has woken up the entire country to say the word Gen Z now with great respect and pride, as it were. No, but
Absolutely.
whether it was Vijay, whether it was the Cockroach Janata Party, or whether it has to be Dhanush or any such movement that may happen in the future, the heart of it is Gen Z, which thinks, does, acts in a very, very different way.
Yeah, and you cannot even bracket them in any
And
column.
you have this little thing that goes like this.
Yeah, you got this little figure which goes like this, and you got so many memes around it. I think the fact is, you cannot bracket Gen Z in any particular column. You cannot. They're they have their own motivation, they have their own drive, and they've just shown us with what happened with Congress Janata Party, with it being a student movement, and what happened after that. The way they got things around, the way they made the minister resign, just goes to show that if they believe something, they can do it. They will do it. And
Right.
I think with actor Vijay and with Dhanush, if they, and also not just them, I think even the prime minister and also different ministers, they have woken up to the fact that you need to engage with the Gen Z. You need to understand their motivation, their aspiration. You need to talk their language. You need to vibe with them. So I think it's very important for them to wake up and smell the coffee, if they not smell the coffee as yet, and just go ahead and engage with them. It's very important.
Right.
The people who've been successful are the ones who've engaged with them, and the best example is actor Vijay, who has done so well, and who's won in such a handsome manner
Absolutely.
in Chennai.
Absolutely. Shekhar Vijayan, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Sneha, thank you so much.